Welcome to Birdseeds episode 6. We're approaching the holidays here, and I hope everybody's having a great holiday season. Hope everybody's, getting ready for the new year, setting your goals and your intentions for next year, etc. But we need to make sure that we focus on the holidays and enjoy the holidays. It's a time of year that can be super hard for people. I mean, sometimes people have past experiences that they draw on, and it can be a time where you're missing somebody or missing something or whatever it may be, and they're it's supposed to be a joyous time of year, and for a lot of people it's pretty hard. But forget that. Even for people that aren't drawing on those things, it's a hard time of year. It is so hard to be present and in the moment. I mean, right off the bat, you're trying to keep things rolling in your business or professional life or whatever you're doing. Then throw in the fact that you got all these parties to go to, work parties, friends parties, whatever it may be, and you got all these obligations. And then if you have a family, you're trying to make sure that your family is having the best, most memorable experience that they can have. Something that, the best Christmas ever. Everybody wants to have it, or best Hanukkah, or whatever you celebrate. I personally celebrate Christmas, so that's going to be the basis of my conversation, but it's by no means intended to take anything away or whatever to whatever you celebrate. It's just my personal experience, and that's what this podcast is about. But you just want to make sure that your family, in my case kids, are having the best time. And it's really hard to maintain the presence because you're just always kind of battling the schedule. Where do I need to be? What do I need to do? You're checking things off the list, you're shopping, you're whatever, and then you're making sure that your family and your kids have events to go to. And it can be a lot. And with that, it just again removes the present. Now you're going to hear me talking about being present, mindfulness a lot in this series. It's something I'm really striving for, working really hard for. I have found that meditation has been by far instrumental in my ability to gain presence. Am I where I want to be in my presence? Absolutely not. I mean, not even scratching the surface or close. But am I markedly improved from where I was when I started meditating a couple months ago? Absolutely. Unbelievable gain in that. And it's just a practice of mindfulness and something I'm going to keep working at. And I'm going to give you some tips, some tricks, some things to think about as far as trying to be mindful and being present. But I think it's super imperative if you really want to build this amazing, memorable experience for your family. Being present is the best way to do it. If you're just always worried about the events that you have to get to and what needs to happen, and you're basically just checking those boxes, I mean, yeah, they're going to be awesome events, but what they're going to remember is when you're there with them. And again, I'm by no means there where I want to be, but at least I'm acknowledging it and understanding that that's what I want to do and where I want to be, and I'm working towards that. I'll take this weekend as an example. My daughter was in the Nutcracker. There's a lot of practice that goes into the Nutcracker, and it's a huge event. Awesome. It was a great show. And the next day we get right on Santa Train, and it's like, leave not super early, but relatively early to do the Santa Train, to get them out, meet up with some friends, have just an amazing experience. But we were so exhausted from the show Saturday that we weren't super present. And then we kind of ended that, had some lunch, and just came home and literally just vegged out. And to me, that vegging out, watching some movies with the fire going on, I mean, that's the memory. The Santa Train was the experience. But I don't know that anybody's going to remember it. But what I know I'll remember is just not having an agenda and being able to just totally veg out and do nothing except for have a nice fire in the fireplace in the basement and watch some holiday movies. And that was awesome. So, just do your best to be present in the moment. Be there. Again, it's so hard any time of the year, but especially this time of year. But I think it's super important. So some tips, again, meditation. I found an app called Insight Timer. You can get it in the App Store, whatever, Apple or Samsung or Android or whatever it is you use for your apps. It's been awesome. I mean, they have a 7-day learn to meditate. It's just been instrumental. And again, my ability to sort of just relax, remove some of the anxiety. I do suffer from anxiety, and it's something that it allows me to sort of let it go. That anxiety, and I mentioned this in one of the other episodes, one of my first episodes, it's the past is depression and the future is anxiety, right? So if you're always anxious, you're not in the moment, you're worried about the future. So I highly encourage it. It's hard. I've tried it numerous times in my life, and frankly, I've never been able to achieve it. In the last, couple months here, I've been finally able to achieve that sort of state where you're just out and you're just acknowledging your thoughts. Personally, I do acupuncture as another way for self-care. I think it's awesome. Helps with some of my back pain that I have and so forth. But also, I put my headphones on, noise canceling headphones, and I meditate for 45 minutes every time I have an acupuncture session. And it's super impactful. I highly recommend it. One of the things that I really learned from it was when you're meditating and sort of learn to meditate the 7-day challenge, one of the things was use your senses. So you sort of notice when you're meditating, you kind of go to this state where you're just sort of acknowledging your thoughts. You're not really thinking your thoughts, and you're sort of just being there in the moment. And then they had you sort of bring your senses into it. So what do you smell? What do you feel? What do you taste? And then when you're in real life and everyday life, you can start using that. Like if you start feeling yourself being pulled away from the moment, you can stop, take a deep breath. What do I smell? And that's going to bring you right back to here and now. It's crazy how well it works, but man, I have to tell you, it's changed my life. It's awesome. Anyway, this is Joe Bird, Bird Seeds Podcast, episode 6. Thank you guys for the support. I can't believe some of the feedback I'm getting from it. The takeoff here, it's super fast. It's the first episode after I released the first 5. It's awesome. By the way, there's a YouTube channel. It's Bird Seeds by Joe Bird. You can go. It's just a video of me making the podcast, but you can see some of my facial expressions, hand motions, etc. Maybe it means a little more to you. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe you prefer the YouTube versus, whatever you listen to your podcast on. Doesn't matter to me. I hope these helps you. I hope you continue to learn and we can grow together. That's the goal here, is that we can all just grow together. Happy holidays. We'll talk soon. Take care.